Hello there. Hello. Tamira here, and today we're going to talk about how drama can ruin your paycheck, right? You got to keep drama at bay. If you know me, you know I am the oldest child, I'm the oldest grandchild, I am the oldest niece. And that dynamic, especially amongst like Generation X, Gen X, is significant, right? It doesn't mean it's better than anybody else, but that can bring a certain amount of trauma to your life, to the point I purposely moved myself and my children and put distance between me and my family for years. I just moved back 2 years ago. When I put that distance between my family and myself, I created a whole new life for me, and it was good, right? Other than like some things at work and that, but it was good for me, right? And I learned a lot. And like they say, if you can move away from your family, that is a whole new level of life, right? And so I used to actually get anxiety when I was driving home and I hit a certain marker. The anxiety, my blood pressure would go up, the anxiety would set in, and the dread would set in. Now, often I would go see my family and I would be glad I went and saw them and I would have a good time. But that's because I learned certain things. I learned to do, and one of the first things I learned was when it was time to go home. Okay, learned when it was time to go home. And one of my good friends said something to me that stuck with me all these years, and that is, your family knows what buttons to push because they installed them. And so when you figure that out and you can begin to pinpoint a couple things, number one, people will always let you know how you really feel about them, okay? And so you need to use that information to your advantage. Welcome everyone, so glad you're all here on the holiday, right? Let me know in the comments if you have, thank you for the likes, Ms. B. Let me know if you have ever dreaded time with family. Let me know if you ever had anxiety, if your blood pressure went up. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comments, okay? I know it's not just me, okay? I've done Friendsgiving. I've done Easter with friends, and on more than one occasion, just because my peace. And so now I've been spending more time with my family, and I was at the barbecue earlier. I even cooked. You can go to my timeline and you can see I made baked beans. But you know, like I was saying, you have to learn a couple things. Number one, you have to learn your role, and don't overplay your role. Never overplay your role, okay? Never put yourself in a position where someone means more to you than someone means more to you than you mean to them. Never overplay. Those beans look good too. Thank you. They were good. It was very similar to my grandma's recipe. So they never be in a position where, I don't care who that family member is, never be in a position where they mean more to you than you mean to them. People will always let you know, not by their words, but by their actions, and let you know what you really mean to them, okay? And when they show you, believe them. Don't argue. When they show you, believe them. It does not mean you have to cut them off. Sometimes it does. It does not always mean you have to cut them off. It does not mean you have to cuss them out, bless them out. You just know how to move accordingly, okay? And it actually blows some people away when they know they've tried to play you dirty, and you still are cordial. You still tell them you love them, but you just keep it real, right? You know. So if that's how you feel about me, that's cool. But then they get upset when you pull them on them, right? So if they think they can continue to get things from you and get things out of you, and you stop providing, you stop being a pushover, you stop being, because a lot of us as oldest daughters, oldest granddaughter, oldest niece, we have been conditioned, we've put in this role where it even translates to our corporate life. We become people pleasers. No matter how confident we are, no matter how intelligent we are, no matter how much self-esteem we have, we innately become people pleasers, and it manifests itself in different ways, right? And so, you know, family members begin to recognize that, and they know that they can go to you and you will do things for them. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, sometimes the men in your family are no better than some of these men in the street when it comes to trying to use you and run you into the ground. And then there are women in your family who are enablers to these men. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so let's read some of these comments. It's best for me to stay away, too toxic. And I get that, because there was a time when I had to stay away too. Okay, I know they showed me, and I'm good. I'm not arguing with it. Amen. Do not argue with it. Do not let it crush you. Do not let it cripple you. You kind of have to detach yourself from it, okay, in order to accept it, right? We have to get to acceptance of it and resolve as quickly as possible. Now that I know that, cool. We still cool. But all those things you used to come to me for, you got to go somewhere else with that, because you've shown me, right? Two low vibration energy vampires, right? I have family members, when we're one-on-one, as long as we are one-on-one, everything is gravy. But then when other family members get into the mix, and it's not even all the other person's fault, it's just that everybody has different personalities, right? And, you know, they have their role that they've been assigned in life and that they play. And so sometimes they become bandwagoners, right? They become a bandwagoner, and next thing you know, like in my family in particular, my mom has 4 sisters, right? 2 are now deceased, so there's my mom and 2 sisters left. But for years, we've seen where they all will get mad at one and bully that one, and then something will happen the next week, and now they're all mad at another one, and the one they were mad with is now back in, but the 4 that are all good are now mad at and kind of bullying another sister, and then it flip-flops and it goes around and around. And so you begin to notice that dynamic, right? And so you will begin to see that there are some dynamics that you are best one-on-one. It doesn't mean that you can't be a part of the group when the group is together, but for me, I have to limit it. I have to limit it, because when you start coming at me, I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to set the record straight, and if you keep at it, I'm a vamoose. I'm going to be gone, okay? A lot of envy and deflection, projecting their insecurities, sometimes your energy. I will say one thing that I have learned, and that has really helped me with both of my parents and my family, and I grew up spoiled. I won't deny that. I grew up spoiled to a degree, but it disturbs them. I also had to deal with a lot of things, right? Because my mother was also the oldest daughter. She was not the oldest granddaughter, but she was the oldest daughter, okay? And so a lot of what was programmed into me actually came from my mother. Not just my mother, but from my mother, because she expected certain things of me as the oldest child. And she, no matter how other family members do her dirty, she's gonna always be there for her nieces and her nephews. And a lot of times she will overcommit even beyond her immediate family, right? And I'm not saying her, because her immediate family is her children and grandchildren. But my mother has done things for her nieces and nephews that she has not done for her own children, okay? And so she will overcommit, and then she starts to reach out to her children and grandchildren, and particularly me and my children, my 2 daughters, to try to unload herself of some of what she's committed to. And I've had to learn, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not, right? I have family members who might be in different health situations in that. Again, I'm not going to overplay my role. I'm not going to overplay my role. I am your niece. I am not your child. You have living children. That is for your living children. That is not, that I'm not going to overplay my role. I'm not. Because number one, ain't nobody goes, whatever happens, ain't nobody accusing me of taking anything. And number two, I'm not going to do all the work and other people benefit. I'll just say that. I'm just not, right? And there's a lot of other dynamic. Yes, I'm deprogramming that mess. Yes, right? And so one thing I have learned that has really helped me with my parents as well as aunties and uncles is they all have their own trauma that, you know, and I can see where some have done some work and have done some healing. I will give them that. I have definitely seen where some have done some work and some healing and where others may have not, right? And then you can see their dynamic and you don't want to get necessarily pulled into their dynamic and their drama, because like I said, that whole sister dynamic, I don't interfere with that. I don't have anything to say about that, because they will flip on you about their sister in a heartbeat. Okay, yes, been there. My mother, yes. Okay, so when you understand that they all have their own trauma that they are healing from or that they need to heal from, it does help you to detach and give them some grace and show them some mercy as God and Jesus would do. But that does not mean ever that you have to lay down and take it, that you have to take abuse, that you have to take toxicity. You absolutely do not have to. Nobody is trying to do the work, and that's when you have to exit. I mean, I went away from my family for almost 10 years. They didn't have access to me. My children and my grandchildren did. But my mother and grandmother and aunties, they didn't have access to me for many years because I was fed up with it. Things had to change, or you don't get to have access to me. That was my boundary, and it didn't change until my grandmother was on her deathbed. Okay, just getting worse. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm on my way. Even have to separate with no access, even my kids. Yeah, I've gone through it with my kids where we've gone no contact. Okay, we have. Okay, because we had this whole intergenerational dynamic, because there were 5 generations. There was my grandmother, there was my mother, there was me, and my grandparents were very instrumental. My entire family really helped me with being able to, because I turned 18 one Tuesday, had a baby the next, went to college, and got my degree, and then started a very successful career. And I would not have been able to do all of that without them. But at the end of the day, those were still my kids. And you're not going to overrule me, and you're not going to tell me what to do with my kids and treat me as if I am a child or just a financier of these children. I am their parent. I make the decision. And so that was actually part of why there was like a almost 10-year separation, right? Because a child, I definitely am more of a gentle grandparent than I was a gentle parent. Had I had the tools, resources, and knowledge, I would have been more of a gentle parent. But I literally was a child having a child, and of course a child with trauma, right? So I had to first even know that I had trauma that I need to deal with, and then through the death of my grandfather is how I really was able to go through and be able to change and heal a lot of that. My story is going to help people, absolutely, for sure. So that drama, like I said, it can ruin your paycheck, right? It can impact you at work. If you work in corporate, it can impact your relationship with clients, right? It can impact even your ability to do what you do as an entrepreneur, as an online entrepreneur, right? One of the things that came up today and with a certain family member is, I'm on my phone too much, I'm on my laptop, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, you know what? These bills got to be paid. Everybody got to pay bills. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. But I have to get online to pay mine. I have to get online to pay mine, right? Just because people have run businesses before doesn't mean they've run a business like yours. And so I don't argue with anybody, and I'm at this big age, 50. I'm not explaining to anybody what I do or why I do it. I'm not, right? I have literally taken care of other people more of my life than not, okay? I have raised siblings and cousins beginning from when I was only like 6 years old. My youngest is now 27. So this past 10 years or whatever, for the first time in my life, I have not had to worry about anyone but myself. My grandchildren, if you know me, you know how crazy in love I am with my grandchildren. But I still get to decide when I'm with them. Ain't nobody making me do nothing, okay? Yes, as I got older and my life flipped, I was able to heal and discover my traumas and dig in and work on me. I promise you, if you keep hitting a wall in your career, in relationships, you've got to do the work. There is a childhood wound there. There is an inner child wound there that you need to work through and heal. And you don't just heal from it. It continues. You discover new triggers. You discover new things that pop up that make that wound feel fresh again. Yes, my digital marketing journey is just starting and have fought to be me too. Yes, me too. My mom and me in charge, over committing herself and then put me up. Yeah, it's a process. Yes, triggers. Yes, you will find, okay, I thought I healed from that. And then all of a sudden there's a new trigger and you got to sit with, why am I feeling this way? What is bringing this up? What is this stemming from? Okay. And you have to work through it and you have to deal with it. But your money blocks, a lot of that will be rooted in your childhood triggers. Okay. It will definitely be rooted in childhood trauma. Okay. Those triggers, laugh at those triggers, but as they come, work them out. Absolutely. You got to pause. And you have to reflect. Okay. So, I left and I was feeling a kind of way. And luckily I don't live far. So I walked home and it was a good little walk. And I came home, washed my face and showered. And I just have to remember, I have to do what I have to do for me. And I owe no one an explanation. No is a complete sentence. It's time for me to go home. No, right? I come from a family where I have aunties who only have sons. They don't have daughters, right? And so that's a whole other dynamic, okay? And, my grandmother was very much a forward-thinking woman, made her own money and taught us to make our own money and that. But she also was still old-fashioned. She made her husband his plate and my grandfather his plate. But he also earned that, okay? He earned that because he wasn't no 50-50 man, right? He wasn't no 50-50 man. He was a provider. And when they met, and she had 5 daughters, right? He's technically my step-grandfather, but he's my grandfather, right? That is who that's actually tattooed on my arm, okay? So I get that they come from that, but at the same time, I did my part and I'm not overplaying my role. So I provided things, I cooked, I made certain things. And yes, there were dirty dishes when I left because all those boys came in here, they ate, even came with a girlfriend, packed up their stuff, and they left. Why am I the one expected to wash the dishes and clean up? I'm not a servant. Not doing it. Absolutely not doing it. Nope. Not doing it. Because you know what? And it's not even just about the boys. My sister wouldn't be expected to do it either. And she's the second child, second grandchild, second born niece. So nope. I'm unapologetic. And it just is what it is. My mom is elderly with dementia. I ended up coming back here, never wanted to. Bandage ripped off. Oh yeah. That sounds like a Hallmark movie. Not to laugh at you, but laughing with you. That sounds like a Hallmark movie. Yes, I feel you. But you are the one they will talk. Let them talk. I almost put that on my video today. I almost put that there, and I said, nope, I'm gonna ask this question and see what else other people add to it, and let it come up in conversation in the comments. Let them, because that's how they get you. You have all these conversations and things playing in your head. And what if they this? What if they that? They'll talk about. Let them. Let them. Let them talk about me. My body of work, my reputation, everything speaks for itself. And anybody who believes otherwise, that's what that 7-year separation taught me. Anybody who believes that without talking to me either doesn't know me, or they just don't like me, and that's what they want to believe anyway. So let them. Let them. Like Mel, what's her name? Mel Robbins says, let them. Let them. I love my family. I love my family dearly. I love family time. There are so many great memories from my grandparents' house growing up. And, the whole meme about the pallets on grandma's floor or one of the aunties' houses. Absolutely. But there were also some traumatic things too. There were also some traumatic things as well, right? And I think that's true in any family, any race, any religion. And if not, it's even worse, because the trauma is just ignored and pretended to not exist, which is worse, right? So, at least in my family, it screams, it's loud, it's there, right? But, at 50, I have my boundaries. I have my boundaries. I think there was some upset because I didn't want to go to the fireworks. I'm tired. Like, I am not that much younger than y'all, because my mama had me young. I am not that much younger than y'all. I am tired. And I don't have to explain. I had to get back here because there are things I want to do for my business. I came out here live yesterday and preached about, you need to go live, you need to do this for your business, make it a work day, make it, a partial work day, pay yourself holiday pay. So I got to get on here and I got to do what I got to do, right? Just because I create my own courses, I sell done for you courses like DBA, BPU, the AI traffic generation system. There are seasons in your business, just like I tell y'all, there are seasons in your business. And my business is in a season that I have to pay a lot more attention to it. There are people who have not paid a lot of attention to their business. Hey, DBA fam, there are people who have been able to coast in their business for years, and they are coming out of hibernation in large numbers. That is a signal. I would be a fool to ignore that. I would be a fool to ignore that. Everybody's gotten 4th of July sales via text message, via email, and all of that, okay? So I would be a fool to not take advantage of what today is and be able to monetize today. I told y'all, every last heavy hitter that is associated with DBA went live today. Jaquela went live today. I didn't see 7-Figure Brooke, but Brooklyn has been live at least twice. Matt CEO has been live. So why wouldn't I go live? I should have been live earlier. I really should have. But I was not in a situation, in a place. She is, yep. In a situation, in a place where I could go live and not be able to predict what was going to happen around me. So I was not going to go live and subject my reputation to that, right? And I don't think it wasn't even a matter of like anybody fighting or anything like that, but other people's kids, and everybody don't raise their kids the same way. And at the same time too, I'm also very cognizant of not, I'm very selective on who I lend my digital persona in space to. I'm very mindful of that, because you never know what can happen. For example, you can have a video actually go viral and make a lot of money, but the people who are in it now feel like you owe them. So I'm very careful, right? I'm very careful about who I share my digital space, my digital room with because of that. Let me catch up on some of these comments. Oops. Wow. Speak on money blocks. Okay. My mom is elderly with dementia. We covered that. Yes, I feel you, but you are the one that we'll talk about. We talked about that. I don't care anymore. Yep, let them. Let them. Okay. Yes, boundaries and self-respect, self-love and standards. And it makes them upset. Why? Because you know what? Sometimes I think people get to a certain age and they just accept that that's the way they are, and everybody plays their role, you know, and that's what they know and it's what they're comfortable with. It's almost sometimes like a cognitive dissonance. I'm just starting my products. I was doing it alone, but DBA is helping me. Yeah, Brooklyn is live. I am not in space now. Yeah. So, you know, when it comes to money blocks, again, as the oldest child, oldest granddaughter, oldest niece, I always felt like I should help, right? I always felt obligated to help because so many people helped me, you know, with babysitting and things like that when I was working in my career and the kids were younger, when I was traveling for work, and even my education. But at what point does it stop, right? At what point does it stop, right? If I didn't have it, I've taken out loans to help people who didn't pay me back, you know, and again, people showed me their hand on multiple occasions where I would go to the end of the earth to help them. But then when I needed help, I always felt alone. I didn't really feel like I could go to anyone else. Or if I did go to them, I had to hear about it, right? So that's where that hyper independence comes from, right? And so, you know, as far as money blocks, there have been situations where I actually started out as a really good saver, an extremely good saver, right? I was really good with money, but because family members, and I'm not going to say who would know that I would have the money, they would always find a reason to have to get the money from me and make me give it up, right? And so to get around that, what I started doing was I would spend it. As soon as I got it, I would spend it on whatever I wanted, because at least I was experiencing the rewards of my labor. Yeah. So that was, there I can't even think of them, but there are other money blocks that I am continually and always working on now. And a lot of it stems back to childhood trauma, and particularly, for me, I actually have both a mother wound and father wound that impact my money block, you know, like, you know, my father paid child support, right? But my mother used to make me call him and ask him for things. And I don't know, I have mixed feelings on it now, but there was a time when I felt like she knew he would say no. And so she would purposely make me call him and ask him to hear him say no, so that I would think about him in a certain way. But what she may not have known, and I'm just now realizing she may not have known, he actually would cuss me the hell out, like cuss me to the ground. Not call me out of my name or anything, but it basically impacted me in that's part of where my hyper independence came from. And it also allowed me to make passes for men, and men not stepping up and doing what they needed to do, or me asking them for help and being hyper independent because of the rejection wound related to the father wound. Because I decided at like 13 or 14, I was never going to ask either one of them for shit ever again in my life. If I couldn't get it on my own, it wasn't for me to be had. And I made that decision like going into my freshman year of high school. And that is also how I became a workaholic. That is very much also how I became a workaholic. Because of that. Because I was going to be hyper independent, and I was going to figure it out and make it happen for myself, because I was never going to ask somebody for something and be talked to like that again. So it also impacted me in corporate, because I would not ask for help, because asking for help in my situation, You get cussed out, you get, there are people who want you to ask for help, but it's only so they can talk about you for asking them for help, right? So it impacted a lot of different relationships. I get it, yes. Yep, this family has a whole lot of unhealed trauma. Value had to be relearned the proper way because we had to pretend the pink elephant wasn't there. Girl, that's the other side of my family. That's what they do. That's the other side of my family. That's what they do. They don't talk about things. Yes, only to tell you no, right? It's like a reward. Like they get to prove that you have a kryptonite, that you're not super person or whatever, that you had to ask for help. And they got to tell everybody about it, right? And so, yeah. So your childhood trauma can definitely impact your money wounds, right? And how it really can manifest you as a entrepreneur is you can make money, and then you can end up spending all the money and having to start over and go broke multiple times over and over again, and it is because of a mother wound or a father wound. I'm the problem because I dream on it. I speak on it, I think is what you mean. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, right? It will impact you in, you don't make the cold calls, you don't make the outreach, you don't talk to people in the inbox because you're afraid of the rejection room. I made a huge turnaround in my business in the past year because I worked on that specifically, not wanting to reach out to people. I just wanted passive marketing to do it, and passive marketing just was not passive. It was not working. Woo! That firecracker scared me. That passive marketing was just not giving what it used to give. So I knew I needed to get in the inbox, right? And I had a habit of going in the inbox to the low hanging fruit. Where I knew, because I had a relationship, but it wasn't giving because of different things in the economy and the world. So I needed to go beyond that, right? And so then I even went to, so I started asking people close in my circle for a list, and they would give me a list, and I would call, and that would work. But then you can't keep going back to those wells, they dry up, right? So then I had, so it's just this constant process, and you gotta address those wounds. And I actually created a course based on that process and what I worked through. It's my cash flowing, business growing mass sales mastermind. Speak. Yes, I speak on, I tell the truth, and it makes them mad, right? I'm to the point, I just really don't care how they feel. I really don't. What I care more about is me, because I've spent so much of my life taking care of everyone else, checking for everyone else, checking on everyone else. And I can't say no one, because my sister does sometimes, but sometimes there's a weird dynamic there because she didn't experience the exact same childhood that I did. And you're not going to minimize what I went through, right? And so there can be a little bit of a weird dynamic there, but she will at least check on me. And like in my birthday card, she's like, I always got your back, right? One of my mom's sisters, she will definitely check on me if she doesn't hear from me in a certain period. But at the same time, for the vast majority of my life, nobody checks on me. Nobody is, so who do I really owe at this point? My children are adults. I don't even really owe my grandchildren at this point. But I'm vested in them because that's what I choose to do. It is a choice. But I don't owe anybody anything at this point. This is the first time in my life I get to focus on me and do what I want to do when I want to do it. So yes, I have aunties who are older, but they're really not that much older than me. And because of different situations and decisions they made in their lives, they can't do certain things and they need help with certain things. So when we're together at the same time, I am not your beck and call person. I'm not jumping and saying how high. I'm not running to the ends of the earth and back. I am not a car service. I am not a personal driver. No. Absolutely not. No. And nothing comes before me and my needs and my business needs. No one. And not even my grandchildren. So you know, if I'm saying not even my grandchildren come before my business needs, before my own personal needs, and I mean like needs, right? Food, shelter, and all that. Nobody comes before that. Nobody gets in front of that, right? I'm not putting myself in my livelihood on the line for anyone. Accountability, yes, I'm so there. I get the minimization. I don't owe anyone but myself, right? Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody checking for me like I check for me. Ain't nobody's coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. And like, I came on here live, and I was live for several hours yesterday, and I spoke on today is a money day, and the people who get it, get it. They're going to be here live. Jana Butler, I follow her. She has a lot of the same things in her content that I have, and that's what attracted me to her content. She was live today, right? Brooklyn was live today. Matt, Jakayla, Branding Boss was live, right? Everybody, I think Natty was live, right? The major players that you see live in the digital marketing space all went live today, and they were posting content today. I consider myself a major player. While I choose not to be a co-creator, because I could with DBA, I definitely have the vault and the content to contribute something. I just haven't decided what, and I will at some point, right? But I consider myself a major player. You should consider yourself a major player. You really should, because you don't have to have a title. You don't have to have earned a certain amount of money to become a player. I've always believed you are a leader from wherever you are. You are a leader. And if you are a first child, a first grandchild, a first niece or nephew, you are a natural born leader. Right? If when you speak, people listen, you are a natural born leader, right? And you know what? At the same time, there are people who may have decided not to go live today. But if they went live every other day this year and they decided not to go live today, that is the right decision for them. I am not judging them. But for the goals that I have for this month and for the rest of this year, even for this week, it was imperative that I get on here and I go live. Thank you so much for the love. Yes, I know I've had to shut it down for everyone. I have to move and let this go. Second child had to be in charge. Natural leader. Yeah. When that, like I said, that's part of how I became a workaholic, right? I have a fully disabled brother. So I was basically, like I said, not only was I raising myself, I was raising everybody else, including a fully disabled brother. And so when I got of age to finally get a job, my sister did have to step up then and do more because I wasn't home. I was working, and that was okay. That was a permissible way for me to get outside of the house, was to work and make money, because there were times when I had to help pay the rent and nobody would even take me to work or pick me up, but I had to help pay the rent and wasn't 18 and didn't even have a child yet, right? So, and I'm not here to air out my family's dirty laundry, because like I said, a lot of healing has helped, but God put it on my heart and I'm talking about it and it's being received, okay? Natural leader, yeah. So, you know, you have to deal with those things. Those things can definitely impact your money, right? But that is also why I have made some of the decisions that I have made as well, including creating my own courses and selling my own courses and selling done for you courses, and being a part of DBA and being, you know, an online internet entrepreneur. Oh, thank you. My story is helping you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So you guys, if it is helping you, please double tap that screen, share, get the, you know, help get more people on here. You know, because I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys listening. You get it. Thank you. Yeah, I do get it, because I have gone through it. My sister and I had a very tough conversation a few months ago, because remember, there's always been this intergenerational dynamic, right? So you already, I mean, there always was an intergenerational dynamic, but it changes once you have children. It changes once you have children, right? And sometimes, I didn't really know how to set boundaries when you turn 18 one Tuesday and you have a baby the next, right? The lack of boundaries, the lack of respect for boundaries, and me as the parent began with the arguments about putting cereal in a bigger hole in the nipple and letting the baby sleep with that at night, right? That old school. I'm the mama, what I say goes. Yeah, you're my mama, but that's my child, right? So it started then, right? And whew, I don't even know if I want to go into some of that, but the whole grandparent interfering and kind of almost playing you against your child, and then you got great grandparent, and so it gets really, the triangulation really gets serious there. Like, so there was a lot. There was a lot. And I had to separate and I find it interesting that it was like 7 years, because that's like a biblical number, right? It was literally almost 7 years, right? But I even noticed patterns with that, right? I noticed that when the stakes are high, when emotions get high, when someone is really sick or someone is dying, certain people behave a certain way. And so I kind of become a fly on the wall, and I sit back and I let other people move and be in charge and do things, and I stay out of the fray. Okay? Yes, my mother played mine against me. Right? Yeah. They become angels to their grandchildren. I don't do that, right? I can honestly say it stopped with me. My daughter is the oldest child, oldest granddaughter, firstborn niece, and firstborn great niece, firstborn great great grandchild. But she's a princess. I didn't let her be put in that situation. I did not allow it. That was part of why I moved my children away. I love my brother dearly, but he is not my child. He is not my responsibility, and I was not going to let my children have to deal with some of the things that I did growing up, right? Like being a surrogate parent, and in a way I was robbed of a large chunk of my childhood being a surrogate parent. My kids, yes, always, because I told there had been issues since childhood. That's my regret, not staying away. Yeah, yeah. I don't want, I already have told way too much about family business, so I don't want to say too much more. But yeah, I just really wanted to come here and talk about it from the standpoint of drama can kill paychecks, right? Because I could have let what was beginning to happen, what was, because, people trauma dump, right? And I've done it without realizing it. So I'm not here to trauma dump. I'm really here to speak from a healing perspective, right? Because like I said, them triggers will pop back up. They will definitely pop back up. And I am very grateful for and appreciative for everything my family has ever done for me. But at the same time, that does not mean I have to be a doormat and let people walk all over me or bully me or guilt me, right? I have to do what I have to do for me, okay? So, by the way, if you're on here, I do offer mentorship. Even if you are a DBA member, you can, get mentorship from me for a fee. There is also BPU. If you are struggling with selling DBA, I highly, highly recommend BPU, which is Business Pro University. It is how to sell digital products. There are also 2 threads modules in there. There's an email marketing module in there, and it is just really everything you need to know. Like somebody says, DBA and BPU go together real bad, and it's absolutely true, right? So if you're struggling at all with sales, or even if you just want to hone up your sales game, I'm always of the mindset of I can learn more, I can do more, I can be more. So that is why I joined DBA, okay? I'm sorry, BPU. No, let's get the checks. Yes, I'm relating from a healed and healing space. Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, right? You know, people still try to make comparisons between my sister and myself, you know, but she also married and married well. You know, she's done very well in her career too. But even with that, I had to check my kids last week. She's type A. No, she's not type A. I'm type A. She's type B. And that's the way it always has been. You can't convince me otherwise. I've been around her a lot longer than I have in my life than you have. What it is because it looks like I'm not type A because I left corporate America, but that is why I left corporate America, because I am type A. Corporate America is not a place for type A black women. They will use you, they will burn you to the ground. If number one, I think she had a better handle on how to create boundaries, but that also came from being type B. Black women who are type B can ascend higher in corporate America because they maneuver differently because they are type B, okay? Yes, and entrepreneurs don't think like employees, right? So, you know, again, because some people are very materialistic and they look at certain things and it's like, well, first of all, she had 2 incomes, okay? And, you know, there's even some things with family dynamic there, right? There are certain things with family dynamic there that I don't even want to get into on this live because it, you know, involves baby daddies and things like that. But yeah, you know, she married a husband who, she had a good job and he had a good job. So yeah, you know, of course. But I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to say that. Okay, we can work a career, but we are not afraid to bet on ourselves. Absolutely. Absolutely, right? Type B is going to stay under the radar. They are going to be more adept at playing the game, where type A, we're going to always buck up against the system. That's literally type A by definition. We are driven, we are ambitious, and we are going to go. Like, one of the better bosses I had was described me, and I thought it was a compliment. I'm not sure if it was. I don't really think he meant harm though. As a bull in a china shop, right? We are just gonna run, right? And I'm gonna tell you, the role that I was in the company that I was in, they specifically looked for type A people to fill that role, okay? And just because I'm more laid back these days and other things doesn't mean that I'm not type A, okay? The reason I'm on here live right now is because I am type A. Type A almost killed me, okay? The uncertainty, we take on fear and challenge ourselves. Yeah, and it's not to say my sister is just laid back and will take anything. No, because she will, you know, there's an inner beast in her. There absolutely is. But, you know, she was a lot more laid back and chill growing up. You know, the reason, and I think she would admit this, a lot of the reason she has had the drive and even aspired and went to and got her undergraduate and master's degree was because she saw me do it, okay? That's the other thing about being the first child, first daughter, first grandchild. You inspire a lot of people. Not many will admit it and tell you. I've had a couple who've told me. I've had a few, yeah. But what I won't be is I won't be positioned as a disappointment. Because first of all, you can't talk out both sides of your neck. You can't enjoy the fact that I have the freedom to be around and do things where other people don't have that because they work a traditional job, right? You can't enjoy the freedom of, on a random day during the middle of the day and middle of the week, can I drop the kids off, right? And then it be a problem or I'm a disappointment, right? Because I will say, even prior to dropping out of corporate America, my children, I think, while not perfect, they are a lot healthier mentally and emotionally than others. They are. And that's me, right? They both work pretty good jobs and make good money, especially to not have, gone the route that I did with a 4-year degree and then a master's degree. Okay? So I did that, and ain't nobody gonna take credit for me for that. I did that, even despite all the drama and the intergenerational BS. That was me. I did that. And they would probably be doing even better had I moved them even further away and had, a lot more influence over them than I did. Because there definitely was some underhanded and manipulation and other things that impacted where they are now versus where they could or should be. Type B are afraid of not being secure in uncertainty. You get it. You get it. I was like, what? Absolutely not. I'm type A. And they just kind of looked at me, but yeah, I'm type A. She is type B. You're not going to argue that with me. I know I'm type A. She don't have high blood pressure. I do. That ain't just genetics. That's that type A. Okay? Type B are afraid of not being secure in uncertainty. We take it on head first. Preach. Yes, so true. Yes, the impact. Yes, I do get it. Yeah. I know I'm type A. I would be dead. I would be unalive right now had I stayed in corporate America. Okay? If you have a lack of boundaries, that lack of boundaries comes from certain parenting styles. And when you are the first child, first grandchild, first niece, that's all you know is lack of boundaries. So you have lack of boundaries with men. You don't know how to establish them with men. You don't know how to establish them. That's why they were able to overwork me and underpay me, because I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the resources. I didn't know how to set the boundaries because of the expectations that were placed on me, because of the conditioning that was placed on me. My sister is definitely better with the boundaries because she didn't have those expectations. She had a completely different childhood and early 20s. I keep telling my children, if y'all knew her when she was in her 20s, like if you were of age to know the version of her when she was in her 20s, she's way different now. Way different now because she got it out of her system. I was domesticated. I didn't get it out of my system until my 30s. And I had 2 kids. But I would send them away for the weekend so they didn't get to see a lot of that. I at least had sense to do that, right? So yeah, it's so crazy. It's the dynamic and, the things people think they know, but they have no idea. Okay? So yeah, that I will bet on myself time and time again. And DBA, let me tell you, I looked at my data last night and my clicks to my digital marketing, my digital product store shot through the roof in May compared to April and even the rest of the year, because I started going live on TikTok daily, right? And then it didn't double in June, but it still went up by another 10% in June. And June was a peak. And it was like 5 times, May was like 5 times April. And it's a 12-month high. And then July is trending to be like through the charts. Absolutely through the charts for July, right? It's just insane. And that is the power of going live, but also search for the viral terms related to DBA. Okay? Yes, woo, I get it. I fall, get up, and try again. and utilize my lessons. Reinvest and invest in me. My breakthrough is here. Absolutely. Claim it, girl. I know that's right. Claim it. And that's the thing. You got to speak life over yourself. You got to speak over you. But you got to do what you got to do for you when you got to do it. It don't mean that you don't love anybody. It don't mean that you're not there, but you have to set your boundaries. You have to set your boundaries. There have been times when people literally felt entitled to me, my resources, be it time and or money. And you have to set your boundaries. You absolutely have to set your boundaries. You have to set your rules, right? And for me, one of them is learning when enough time is enough time. And it's not to say I was always innocent. I made some mistakes, right? I made some mistakes. Usually because I thought I was overplaying my part. I was overplaying my part, right? Thinking that I meant to someone else what they meant to me. And there are, like I said, you just have to know when to go home. You have to know when, okay, we've been together long enough. I think it's time we separate again for a little while. And then we can come back together in a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever. But you have to know there is such thing as too much family time. There is such a thing as too much family. And when they start with the ganging up on one person, and you know, when it starts out like it's innocent and funny and joking, but there are some, you learn that sometimes those jokes, there's really something more behind them than it just being a joke. Right? Like, you know, like one of the things came up today. I don't know why a baby daddy that I haven't seen in like 27, 28 years keeps coming up. I'm not interested in that person. And how can I be bitter? I left them. They didn't leave me. That don't make me bitter. Speaking on somebody that you are no longer with does not make you bitter. Right? I'm learning social media, etc., but really excited and don't have to do everything from scratch. Yes, the ganging up because of your power and they can't handle you alone. You know, yes, there's definitely some of that, but it's also, I think, like a, just, I don't know, I almost feel like some people get a kick out of it. And I think, too, like my generation in the family, I think people have become immune to it, and it's just like normal. It's just like par for the course. And yeah, it's not that I can't take a joke. It's not that I don't have a sense of humor. There's nothing like that at all. But there's a time too when to cut it off, and let's talk about something else. Right? Like there's enough of that. And then, like I said, like every time I see my male cousins, I don't know why this person has to be brought up, because they are so far in my past. We share a child, we share grandchildren. For that, I am grateful. But everything else, like, it's the past. I can't even say I regret it or I don't regret it. It is a lifetime ago. Literally a lifetime ago. Right? And see, here's one thing I will say. I feel like certain generations are failing women. Certain generations of women are failing the younger women in their family, right? This whole thing of just squashing everything for the sake of the children is BS. The XYs have come to know that that's what people are being told. And that is what, you know, we are being told and are being held to and expected to. And I don't with my child. No. Your mental health, your emotional health as a mother is the number one determining thing of the success of your children in their future. So that is my concern. Not you playing nice with anyone who has financially abused you, physically abused you, emotionally abused you, cheated on you. I don't care about their feelings. I truly do not care about their feelings. I care about my child first and my grandchildren second. Why? Because if my child is not okay, my grandchildren will not be okay. And I am not going to tell you that you have to say hi to somebody who financially, verbally, emotionally, physically abused you. I'm not going to do it. Everybody can't co-parent. And for some people, they think co-parenting is just a door to be able to inflict further pain and suffering on you. And no, absolutely not. Yeah, they accept the pink elephant. Everyone convinced it's another animal. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Girl, the conditioning of mess. Yes. Girl, I told my daughter that. Yeah, absolutely not. You do my sister agrees with me. Like, you do not have to co-parent with somebody who is a horrible person to you. You do not have to. That is how they win. This whole, well, you should have to be around me because of the kids and blah, 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 right? Like, there was a situation at the parade. A woman walked up and another woman had her kids that they were supposed to be with their father. The father had just walked up. He was not there the entire time. But every woman felt that this woman was upset. Was she wrong for throwing something? Yes. But I don't know what lie. I don't know how that man is triangulating these women. I don't know. I don't know that. So I'm not just going to say she wrong for being upset. But that's that old school thinking. That's that old school thinking. No. I'm always give a woman the benefit of the doubt. Unless it's a woman who's cheating with a man of mine. And she knows and she know he had a woman. No, ain't no benefit of the doubt there. Y'all both wrong. And I'm going to hurt both of y'all. Real talk, right? But the whole, just because he's the father of your child, you should be able to sit at a table. Yeah, you should. And sometimes we try. And y'all don't know the games and the manipulation and the things they are doing behind the scenes. Right? You don't know. A lot of these men, these ex-wives, are a lot more messy than ex-exes. They are messy, and they definitely be playing in their feminine side. I tried to co-parent with a fool. My mistake. He turned around. He just ruined what built with my child. Yeah, he wasn't doing anything, never showed up. He talked about everything I was doing. Yeah, and then some of them, they have the ear of people in your family who want to be haters, who are just haters. And you just have to, again, it is what it is. I chose to stay single. Exactly. Even longer than that for me. And it's not about being bitter. I know my worth. And I know what I am accepting and what I am not going to accept. And there is a lot of trash out here. A lot of trash. And a lot of it is just passed around trash. Just passed around trauma and not being healed. No. Yes, the help of my mom. Yes, my worth. Yeah, I know my worth, and I'm not just accepting anything. Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Can't nobody else pick for me either. I don't care who you think is a nice man or who you think is this or that. Right? While I'm healing through the hyper independence thing, I also don't look at a man as a paycheck or an income, right? Because I know what some of y'all put up with for men to get that money, right? Some of the hits to the head and the trips to the hospital and other, no. I would much rather have my own. Now, the right person come along, I do expect him to be a provider. But at the same time, I don't want a manipulator. I don't want no narcissist. I don't want nobody who expects you to be their wife in the bed and then their mama outside the bed. No. I'm just not looking for that. And I am okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. Why? Because I know by creating my own courses, by selling done-for-you products like DBA, BPU, the AI traffic generation system, along with other things that I have going on, I'm okay. And I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be even greater than anybody could have ever imagined. Hell, they killing everybody, all the soul tie. Girl, the women in this family have low self-worth from what I see, and be quick to say that's why I don't even let them. Again, that's a situation where it's like, let them. Let them. Let them. Do you, boo? Don't have a man. I'm like, you don't either. I don't know. See, I've never been of the school of thought that I was less than because I didn't have a man. And I also never thought that I was more than when I did have a piece of a man or a man. And I'm going to be okay either way. Now, that I can't say. My mama raised us to be. I'm going to be okay either way. I am a whole woman either way. And I believe there are women who need to learn how to be by themselves and love themselves before they should ever get in a relationship. Okay? I am so good at, I think it scares men how good I am at being by myself and being alone. That whole, you gonna be alone, that ain't never bothered me, not one bit. Because I know how to be alone. Being alone and being lonely are two separate things. You have to read it together, laugh out loud. Yeah, no. Yes, take the time to heal before jumping in another relationship. And that's what a lot of these dudes do. They go from relationship to relationship to relationship. Right? A lot of them secure the next relationship before they leave or get put out of the one that they're in. They secure the next relationship. They already have plan B in action before they leave the relationship that they're in. They're the ones that can't be alone. They're the ones that don't know how to be alone. Okay? So again, if you're watching this, go to the link in my bio and click that third button, and that is where you will find Digital Boss Academy, right? If you don't want to have to put up with it, if you don't want to be dependent upon anyone else, selling done-for-you courses and done-for-you products is a great way to create freedom in your life. Women too, like, geez, you and John just broke up and you with Ken. Yeah, just not this woman. I never been one to do that. I never been one to do that. No. Nope. So me either. Yeah, I just I really enjoy my life. I have peace. That's the other thing. If a man ain't bringing me peace, if he ain't making my life easier, I'm just not interested. I'm not looking to be nobody's servant, to be their bed wench. I'm not looking for any of that. No. You know, like one of my male cousins came in today. He made his plate. His girlfriend was there. The other one came by himself and didn't, the two that didn't come with a woman, my auntie making their plates. Like, what is wrong with them? Why they can't make their own plate? And then making to-go plates for one. Like, why they can't make their own plate? That's crazy to me. But I wasn't doing it. I was not doing it. And just like they came and they left and didn't nobody even think about asking them to wash no dishes, I wasn't washing a dish either. And it's like, did you even notice that when I did cook, because I'm my mama's child, I actually did wash dishes that were in the sink. So I did what I'm gonna do, and I'm going home. Me either. I've been married or single. Yeah, I'm gonna be okay either way. I'm gonna be who I am either way. You either gonna compliment it or you're not. Some families raise the women are raised to be serving to men no matter their worth. And you know, and that's, it's not that my cousins aren't worth it, but at the same time, no, I ain't making nobody plate. to eat here or to go. I'm just not doing it. And just like you didn't ask them, they didn't contribute financially, which they would have. They weren't asked. They didn't contribute financially. They didn't bring a dish. I did volunteer and say what I would make, so I did. But, I also contributed and bought the things for what I was going to make too. So, yeah. And when they were ready to go, they were ready to go. They went to make their rounds. And I made my round home. I have gotten access to the Volume 2 DBA. Yes, what do you think about Volume 2? Volume 2 is litty. Oh my God, Volume 2 is litty. And I just saw a notification that, here, let me find it. And I got new notifications, of course. I saw a notification that the email marketing and something else, email marketing and YouTube modules are now live. So I'm going to look at those now, but those are now live in DBA Volume 2. It's so funny, they had to move Volume 2 to the first row because people were saying they didn't have access to it because they were not scrolled, all the way down to the bottom, which is so crazy to me. So I'm looking for email marketing and YouTube. I think those are still like inside of Volume 1. So let's look. Email marketing actually had already been there. Let me refresh because I'm not seeing it in Volume 1. I'll go back through Volume 2. That's the only thing I don't like, is that Volume 2 doesn't have the standalones. Like this, it's just one, and then you have to click through that long list. But I understand why they did it that way. Okay, so I do see YouTube here. Intro to YouTube, YouTube algorithm, how to go viral on YouTube, and loading more. No. But now let's see, where is email marketing? Because email marketing is my jam. Like, I make nice money from email marketing. Yeah, I don't see email marketing. I'm scrolling through with a fine-tooth comb though. Yeah, I don't see email marketing in Volume 2. So let me go back and yeah, I don't see it in Volume 1 either. So let me go to this notification and see if anybody else is saying the same thing. I just see a bunch of yeses. And more YouTube modules coming, y'all, says Brooklyn. Yes, just went over the email marketing module. So why am I not seeing it? Let me look again. Not seeing the email. Welcome, Chad. Not seeing the email marketing. The fireworks. Is fireworks going off outside? I'm right downtown, so the fireworks. I was not about to sit out there and get ate up at the lake with the mosquitoes. The bugs were actually annoying this morning at the parade, so I was just not interested in dealing with the mosquitoes. Let me do a search. Yeah, I still don't see email, so I'm gonna comment that I don't see the email marketing. I'm gonna tag Brooklyn and say, I just don't see. I don't see email marketing, and I have looked carefully at least twice. Maybe I lost access to it somehow, because it was there yesterday. Yesterday or the day before. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry again. I do not like to eat this late at night. I already was feeling a little refluxy from the barbecue and that, so I definitely got to get back on my pre-pro and postbiotic because I don't like that. And I also can even feel it in my body and the way my body is looking in shape. I got to get back on my pre-pro and postbiotic. Even my stomach, like when I stand, the way it's kind of shaped, I can tell that there's some inflammation and things going on in the gut, and it's related to not being on my pre-pro and postbiotic. But I'll tell you, it kept me in balance for a long time because it's been a while since I've been taking it, but it's definitely time to get back on it. So yeah, DBA Volume 2 is great, and there's even more stuff, you know, more modules in that are to come, like Brooklyn said. So really excited for that. Yeah, email marketing was there, but I don't see it. I'm gonna look again because but I did like the find, you know, I did Control F, and the computer would find it too, and it's not there. See everything else but that. Is it under funnels? Nope. So what is your favorite module? What's your favorite topic? You said you don't see it in yours either. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Yours is green now. No. Have you gotten in yet? Mine is still locked. Yeah, I've been in. Yeah, it was locked, but then while everybody else was still locked, mine was open. Mine was open. So yeah. And again, I definitely recommend BPU. BPU and DBA go together real bad, as they say, right? DBA and BPU go together real bad because DBA is going to give you the fundamentals of building the business, right? But you have to learn how to sell. Selling is now a life skill in 2024 and for the rest of our foreseeable futures. You have to know how to sell. You have to know both marketing, but you also have to know sales. And sales is a function of marketing. But if you don't know how to sell, creating content is great, but creating content is passive. It is, you can create content and you're going to make a certain amount just because you can, right? But it's not always going to be that predictable. You have to be more active. And even in your content, you have to know how to create content that sells. And you will get some of that in DBA, but there are some other things in BPU. That's why you're even hearing Brooklyn talk more about searchability. Not that she didn't talk about it in Volume 1. She definitely did, but like on her lives, I think because she's going through the BPU modules, she's talking a lot more about searchability, right? And I've been talking about searchability for like the last year. I've been telling people, like, even in the networking groups and the professional associations that I'm in, I keep telling people, like, you've got to know how to be, creating content is great, but you got to be findable. People got to be able to find you, right? I've always been about searchability. That's why I've always had blogs. That's why I've always created YouTube videos. I probably won't take this one, but I take my TT lives and I download them and upload them to YouTube, and it's been doing very well for me. My between that and shorts, which I need to do some more shorts, my YouTube is growing again. It's been growing, and I've been getting the views and getting the comments. I've gotten leads for DBA from YouTube. So yeah, okay. So and YouTube is a search engine. Pinterest is a search engine. That's why I have a Pinterest course. The first 2 to 3 modules are all about search in Pin Profits Mastery. They're all about search. Okay? They're all about search. Okay? And I've gone back and forth with, I would never make Pin Profits Mastery MRR, because that would be a disservice to the people who've invested in it, and to myself. But I've gone back and forth with creating MRR courses, and I just don't see myself doing that. I'd rather buy Done For You. And then as I see fit, all of my courses have been passion projects. All of my courses have been based on my own frameworks, my own documentation, my own experiences. Yeah, yours is green now, so you have volume 2 now. Yep. Yes, that is what we are supposed to do. Repurpose your content. Yes, done for you or PLR. Yeah. I've been thinking about, I've got a couple ideas for some PLR to create and sell. But if I were to add to the vault, it would be stuff that I bought. If I create PLR, I gotta sell it first. I'm not gonna create it and then contribute it, because if I'm gonna create it, I need to make my money back, right? For my intellectual property, my time, experience, and expertise. So, oh, I'm getting sleepy. So DBA and BPU go together real bad, real bad. I would definitely go and grab BPU if you have DBA from the link in my bio. It is, I believe, the 4th button, and if not, I do offer mentorship. So if you are looking for picking my brain as someone with 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience, I do Pinterest audits, I do social media audits, create content plans and strategies. And I'm not talking about stuff that you can just punch into chat GPT. I mean, clearly I'm not, because I've got 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience, and I am a sought after content marketing strategist. Like, you can Google me, you can look me up on iTunes, you can look me up on Spotify. Okay. So I'm gonna say that, and that is why, like, mentorship with me is not cheap. Okay. I will check it out. I'm tapped now. I lost my job on medical leave. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, you definitely have to make it work, and you need to move ASAP. Yeah, you gotta go live. If you ever want to go live together, just hit me up. Let me know. Yeah, you gotta go live. You gotta post the content, and you gotta do messaging. You gotta do outreach. And not a lot of people are talking about that. And I actually gave some scripts and some things inside of DBA on doing the outreach, right? Because that is active. Content marketing is more passive, and especially certain types of posts, right? Now, there are selling posts. There are selling posts, okay? And so you're selling posts, but there's still nothing like that that one-to-one conversation. There are people who are interested, and the only thing that's going to tip them is a one-to-one conversation with you. I've sent people emails, the content, but it was the one-to-one conversation that got it to happen, right? And so there are people in your primary market, your warm market, because you rarely have a hot market. Okay, sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's warmer than others, but yes, for rent. Woo, how much is your mentorship? I typically do 90 minutes for $497. I believe there is still a link though in my bio where you can get, I think, 30 minutes for like $79 or something like that. So just hit me up. And even with the $497 or the $79, I do accept Klarna and Afterpay. So it's definitely worth it. I also do half-day VIP sessions and full-day VIP sessions. It's in volume 1. See, mine is missing from volume 1. Let me refresh. And those, like a half day is close to $2,000. And it goes up from there, so clearly a full day is more than that. And that is, the half day and full day is, we're doing it together. I don't really do done for you services, because you know what? And I'm not saying this is anybody watching, but done for you is, a lot of times people feel like they own you, and they get a lot pickier when it comes to done for you services than they should be. and they begin to act like they know more than you. And it's like, well, you hired me and paid me because of my experience. And so done for you humbles people. I mean, done with you will humble people. They will begin to understand, and they don't talk back as much. They don't do all those revisions and things. And I really prefer to be a strategist anyway than actually like doing people's graphics and social media posts and that. Maybe I will log out and log back in, because the email module is just not there in module 1 for me. So I'm logging back in. And now I do kind of wish I could see the fireworks. Oh, there it is, right there. I had to log out and log back in. It's there now. It is there now. Okay. Okay, so I can let Brooklyn know I logged out and logged back in. It's there. Because I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. It is not there. Awesome sauce. Now, does anybody know what the MRR Mastery module is about? Because I'm really interested to see what that is. I am a hands-on learner. I need to know my stuff when I help people. You do, but you don't. What you don't realize is you probably don't need to know as much as you think you need to know. You literally just need to be a step or two ahead, right? So it's like this. There's this saying: you solve your own problem and then you sell the solution. So this idea that you need to go through every single module and know every single thing, no, absolutely not. I was struggling with, this is how I solved it. Want me to help you solve it too? Literally. You do not need a master's degree in DBA. You need to step by step. I learned this. You're welcome. That, yeah, I was struggling with this. This is how I fixed it, right? And it can even begin with just your free content. And that is how you will build your community, because you're building know, like, and trust, okay? So whatever you are struggling with, you share that you were struggling with it, and you share how you fixed it, okay? The mind shift. Oh my goodness, yes. You do not need to know every nook and cranny of DBA. You absolutely do not need to know every single nook and cranny. It is impossible. Even with everything that I know about digital marketing, I didn't know 99.99% of this stuff over 10 years ago when I got started. I had my marketing foundations and I used those, and then I began to build on those. And as I was learning things, I was creating content about what I learned and sharing and teaching other people what I had just learned. There's the invest, learn, teach module method, right? Framework, where you invested in DBA, right? And as you're learning it, you teach people what you learn without giving away everything that is inside of DBA, right? Like, I am of the school of thought that I've never been really an ebook seller. I wrote one ebook like in 2019 on Facebook groups and community marketing, and it sold, but you know, and I priced it at like $19, and that just was not enough money for me. It wasn't. I prefer to create a course at a minimum of $400, $500, okay? I'm going through and setting up my stuff. I have some obstacles, yeah. And I'm going to tell you, I went live and I talked about this recently. I'm going to tell you, right? Of course, it is best to start with a stand store, okay? Or beacons or whatever. But I'm going to tell you that you do not have to start with those. You need a Stripe account and a payment link, right? And then you can set up everything else in a Google Doc, right? I done a module and do it. Okay? All them fireworks are going off. I'm going through and setting up my stuff. I have some obstacles. Yeah. There has never been a time in history like this, ever, where you can use your supercomputer in the palm of your hand, also known as your mobile device, It could be an iPad, it could be your phone, and free apps like the one we're on, like Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and be able to make money. There's just never been a time like this in history. And it's so easy, and anyone can do it. You don't even have, no education is required, no experience is required. What is required is showing up, doing the work, and investing, learning, and teaching, right? Invest, learn, and teach, okay? Invest, learn, and teach. That's all it is. You only need to be a step ahead, right? So I used to sell boxes with detox products in there. So you go through the detox and you share your journey with the detox. And then you offer it to other people, because now you can tell them what to expect, right? It's like buying a product and doing an unboxing video. You're doing that to, to build your audience and build connection. And now people will find that video who are buying the same product or looking at buying that product, and they know what to expect. Okay? The templates have been giving me issues getting it in the store. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Unless you have an audience already, a community already, I would stay away from the templates. I would only sell DBA. Right? I would only focus on selling DBA. Now, if you are talking with someone in conversation and you know that there is a template for a product in there that they would be interested in, I would sell them DBA, focusing on that one template that is in there. Because think about it. Why would I buy a template of something that is in DBA, or a finished product from a template of something that is in DBA, when I can just get all of DBA for $222 for volume 2 or $111 for volume 1? That's just how my mind works anyway. That's absolutely how my mind works, right? Yeah, you have a Stripe account. Yeah, I would rather just sell DBA, right? Like if somebody is interested in branding, DBA. If someone is interested in starting a beauty business, DBA. Because you realize, like the branding module, I could easily sell that for $2,000. I could easily sell the branding module for $2,000. Easily, right? What you learn in that branding module, at the depth that it is taught, you can take those skills and not only use it to build a brand kit and brand your own business, but you can begin to brand other people's businesses. Now, out of the gate, can you charge them $15,000? Probably not. So while you are getting your case studies, you're getting your white papers, you're getting your testimonials. It's like going to, have you ever been to the beauty school to get your hair or nails done, or your pedicure, where you pay really cheap because it's students? That's what you're going to do. You're going to go out to the marketplace and offer beauty school type pricing, so that you're not only getting the experience, but you're getting your white papers, your case studies, your testimonials, and building your portfolio in order to be able to get to the point that you can charge, at minimum, $10,000. At minimum, $10,000 for a branding kit, right? Now, I'm going to tell you, now everybody got to earn their stripes, but working with clients is not my favorite thing to do. I'd rather sell done for you products, right? The building a bomb brand module, yes, I really like that. Yeah, that module, to get access to DBA for $111 or $222, even at volume 2 pricing, the value of that module far surpasses what you pay for DBA. Far surpasses it. That module alone, I could easily sell for $2,000. Easily sell that for $2,000. Because, like I said, that's a certificate. That's a certificate in branding. That's like going to a college. I got to be careful saying this, because there clearly is an inherent difference between actually going to a college. So I can't say it's the equivalent, but it's very close to going and getting a certificate from a college, from like a community or a tech college in branding. You can, that's very a high level, that's a high level course that you're getting access to through DBA for only $222 for volume 2. Yes, selling my digital products is what I'm doing. Yes, sell your digital products. And I'm going to be honest with you, because DBA is viral, that's what I would be talking about, is DBA. I have my own digital courses. My Pen Profits Mastery goes for $555. But I'm on this app in particular, and I've started talking about it on Facebook too. DBA. Not because of the price point, but because it is viral. Yeah, DBA, right? And BPU and DBA go hand in hand. So as someone is ready to purchase DBA, you can then bring up BPU and tell them that they complement each other really well. But we've got to get out of this. Like, one, DBA is not a course. It is a PLR and MRR community, okay? It is about the vaults. It's about what is in the vault. So we are selling the vault. We are selling the community aspect. You're in business for yourself, not by yourself. We are also selling the aspect that it's not just about creating a cash generating instrument, but then reinvesting earnings from that and up leveling, moving into a Turo business, using that cash that you generate, that cash injection, to fund something else, okay? To fund another business, to fund another stream of income, because that is what business owners do. When I started in 2013, 2014, there was a piece of software that allowed you to create landing pages inside of Facebook, okay? And that is where I would house my webinars, and I could sell digital products through there, and it was housed right inside of Facebook. And what they did was they had a referral program. So for every referral or every so many referrals, you got a free month of this service. So some of the first digital marketing content that I created was about how to use this software, right? My email responder, my email autoresponder, Get Response. I don't use that one anymore, but I didn't have to pay for that for a really long time because I created content and I, earned credits where that was free, right? So there's no reason that anyone should be struggling in digital marketing when there are affiliate programs, when there are referral programs where you can create content that is not only going to attract people who need that service, but now you can open the door because you built know, like, and trust to talk to them about DBA, to talk to them about and present and pitch to them BPU or whatever other MRR course, UBC or whatever it is that you have. And that's what people really have to come to grips with and understand. That's what DBA is all about, right? Of course, I get it because I'm looking at it, through the rear view mirror, because it mirrors a lot of my walk in digital marketing. Same with the Build a Beauty Business module. It mirrors my walk with building a beauty business, which is how I got over into digital marketing really fast, was when my warm market started to dry up for my beauty business. That's when I started, figuring out digital marketing, because I had double master's degree marketing and finance, but they didn't teach digital marketing back then. That was, I hadn't never even seen Google until the first night sitting in my master's degree class of my master's program. One business will pay for another business. Yes, businesses do that. Business owners, billionaires, they've been doing that for years, right? And so what you will find too is that there are people who will come into your web of content, and they may not want DBA, right? But you can still offer them tools and resources. They may want to know what tools and resources you are using. I noticed that with a lot of the people in my self-study journey, that they had a resources tab on their website. And to this day, I have a resources tab on TamiraHamilton.com. Now it takes you over to my version of Stan Store, which is my tap link. But yeah, even on that tap link, I don't even have it visible right now, but on my tap link, I have a whole page set up with the tools and resources that I use, which is affiliate links to things like Constant Contact for email, to Aweber for email, because I don't use just one platform for email. Don't do that. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in the make money space, if you're in make money online, if you're in direct sales, network marketing, MLM, MailChimp is not your friend. You do not want to use MailChimp. Everybody wants to use MailChimp because it's presumably free and the lowest cost. Free is the most expensive way to do business. Okay, I'm in Beacons. I may need to restructure this again. StanStore is expensive. I'm not making, okay, so here's the thing. You have to set out to make StanStore free. And in settings and making StanStore free, what you are doing is creating success in DBA, okay? Because it works like this, and I should have pulled out my whiteboard and dry erase marker for this, okay? So understand this. When you open your StanStore, you get 2 weeks free, so the clock is ticking. That means you need 5 people in the first 2 weeks to buy DBA, okay? And you need to have them use your link for StanStore. Because when they pay for StanStore at $99 a month, you get $20 back. So that's why I say 5, because that's $100 in credits for your StanStore to be free. So you see how they are what we call vertically integrated in the world of a master's degree in business, okay? That is vertical integration. You are using other people's money. That is all this. DBA should be called using other people's money. It is self-funding. Some people call it crowdsourcing. When you understand DBA from that standpoint, you can't look back. You cannot unsee it. You cannot unsee it. Okay? So you start from the bottom. The bottom is making your StanStore free. And when you make your StanStore free, that means you're making between $555 and $1,110. If it's somewhere in between there, because you're going to sell some volume 2, you're going to sell some volume 1. But as long as they get, you need 5. It might be 7 or 10 because they might not all do StanStore with the $99. But you need 5 that are paying that $99 and you get your StanStore free. And I know not everybody's talking about it, and that's why a lot of people are confused and they don't get it. It was Rich Things that I heard say that, and that's when I got it, because it's what I was doing in 2013 with Social 22. I bought Social 22. I never actually paid for Social 22. That was the software that I used in Facebook. Is where I housed my webinars and all of that. And I learned a lot from them because they held weekly training. They held weekly internet marketing training, and I learned so much from them because they would bring in guests and I would learn from all these guests, okay? And it was free. But I made my 22 Social free. I mean, I even went so far as to, I have a Facebook page, the 4 Aims of PR. It hardly has any people on it because the whole reason that page was set up was I created a challenge, a workspace group where I was coaching for free, and how you paid me was you signed up for Social 22. You paid for Social 22 because that made mine free, and you signed up for Get Response because that made mine free. And then I coached people on how to do that and some other things. It was like a 4 or 8 week intensive of coaching with me. And it's also where I got my white papers, my case studies, and my testimonials. Okay? Ooh, you're getting me excited because this stuff, it's like a game to me. I love it. Right? It's like a game to me. How can you, and it's not as dastardly as it sounds, but that's ultimately what business is. That's ultimately what even buying a house is. You're using other people's money. You're using the bank's money. And you're promising to pay it back. And so in this game, you don't have to pay it back. You kind of pay it forward by creating the content, right? Because even with affiliate, I've been an affiliate with Constant Contact for years now. And what I did was I created content And by helping people with their questions, things that they're searching for on email marketing and Constant Contact, they then use my link. And when they do, I get a kickback, even if they just do the free trial with Constant Contact. In fact, I need to get in my inbox because they're running a promo right now, right? But you got to know the difference between MRR, PLR, and affiliate marketing in your own courses, because affiliate marketing typically pays you 60, 90, sometimes even 120 days later. But with your own courses with PLR and MRR, you pretty much get paid within a week in most cases. I've been doing it so long, I can pay out instantly. I get my money instantly, minus, I pay a little bit more, but I can get my money instantly because I don't like leaving my money sitting on those platforms. People are making a mistake by doing that. Do not do that. Cash out as soon as you can. Do not leave large balances sitting in Cash App, in Chime, in Stripe. And it's not that they're bad. I'm not saying that at all, but they are not FDIC insured. They are not banks. Get your money out of there as quickly as possible, okay? So yeah, it's a game. How do you make the tools and resources that you use free? And I learned this from people who make a lot of money online, who have large audiences and all of that. How do you get it free? Yes, affiliate marketing is in Module 1. I haven't really checked it out because I've been a successful affiliate marketer for years. And that, like I've had contracts, and signed up for affiliate marketing directly with brands. And then I've also been an affiliate marketer of different, basically places that teach like affiliate marketing. And it looks like that's what's in DBA. So it's not necessarily affiliate marketing the way that I would necessarily teach it. And that's okay. But yeah, so, so you got to know the difference between those. But I bring that up because even with affiliate marketing, you can make your tools and resources free, right? Because that's the biggest obstacle a lot of people are going to struggle with in the beginning, is being able to pay for those tools and resources. But remember what I said, free is the most expensive way to do business, using the free tools. Like one of the things about MailChimp, and I'm not speaking bad about MailChimp, I'm telling you a fact, right? They don't make money from home. You do, and most email service providers, you do not want to talk about money. You do not want to talk about anything that is going to sound like or look like a get-rich-quick scheme. But in particular, MailChimp, it is in their terms and conditions. They do not want your business. It flat out, it doesn't say those exact words, but interpretation, they don't want your money if you're in direct sales, network marketing, MLM, or make money online space. They don't want your money. So my mom always said, don't be bothered with nobody that don't want to be bothered with you. Okay? And the other thing is, you've got to really read these plans for like your email service providers, because some of them, you don't own your list in their free plan. You can never download your list. MailChimp is one of them. If you can't download your list is no good to you. So even with StanStore, I don't know either way with StanStore, but read it. Do you own your email list? Can you download that email list? You need to know that. Can you download your email list from StanStore? Because if not, then I would not run my emails through StanStore. My emails, I would have to get them over into something that I own and can control and can download that email list, because the money is literally in your email list, okay? Affiliate marketing is in volume 1. I want to create another stream of income, BPU. BPU is your other stream of income. And you can get started with BPU for $25 with Klarna or Afterpay. If you focus on selling volume 1 and add BPU, it's actually better to do that than sell volume 2, depending on your audience. And if you're a beginner, this is your play. Focus on DBA, and then on the back end, offer BPU, because that's going to practically double, right? You're going to go from 111 to 211, because it's $100 for BPU and $25 for that, right? And so if they don't do it at the time of purchase of volume 1, that's okay. You have their email. You need to be able to email them and keep emailing them and sell them BPU via email. A lot of the people who are selling the most of DBA are doing one of two things. They are either bundling it with BPU or upselling to BPU, or they are also selling a product like UBC. Okay, I have beacons and haven't started my email marketing. You want to start email marketing from the jump. I'm gonna be honest. You want to start email marketing as soon as you can. As soon as you can. You absolutely want to start email marketing as soon as you can, right? And I have my own email marketing course that maybe I will start promoting that and selling it, because it's different than what's in DBA. You got to remember, DBA is not a course. So what you see in DBA, now I haven't seen this new module on content to email, but so I will check that out. But I still know that what I offer is different than that. And they give you some email templates to use in there, but that is not teaching you everything you need to know about email marketing, okay? Like compliance, for example. And then there is email marketing defined, and he gives you an email marketing worksheet in BPU. This is why you want to get BPU as quickly as possible, okay? Okay, do I buy a list first? I have no customers. No, you build your list through your content. You build your list through your content. Go and scroll down further on my account, on my profile, and you will see how I create content and then I sell the click to download something free. I don't sell the product. Like my Pin Profits Mastery course, you will not see that listed on the link in my bio. This is so good. I'm so glad you are here. Hey girl, hey! You will not see the link to buy Pin Profits Mastery. What you will see is to download the secret to winning. That is the key. That's how you get to like the secret door to Pin Profits Mastery, is by that training. So when someone goes to the link in my bio and they click on download the secret to winning at Pinterest.com, to winning at Pinterest, what they get is a download, and a new window pops up soon as they submit, and that is where a video is there, a video training is there, okay? And so they can watch that video training, and that video training I can sell as a masterclass, but it's free. And I give you a workbook, a worksheet that you can fill out while you watch it. And while you're waiting for that, there is a button that you can click, and it will take you over to the sales page. Now get this, write this down, TamiraHamilton.com/PPM, as in Pin Profits Mastery. I want you to look at that sales page, because that sales page is a Google Doc. So when I tell you, you only need a Google Doc, your phone, Wi-Fi, and what is in your head in order to make money, I'm telling you because I've done it for years. Girl, you want me to type with one finger in the chat? It's my first name, last name, .com, TAMIRAHAM, Hamilton like money, .com, and hopefully they won't flag me for this, PPM, like Pin Profits Mastery. And you will see that it is a Google Doc, right? It's a Google Doc. Now I need to just move it over to my tap link, which I eventually am going to do. But a year ago when I created it, it was, you know, I've shown on live multiple times this week. I have a millionaire mentor, and I saved her sales page when I saw her do that, because I had heard of people doing it and I had seen people doing it, but hers was so crisp and so clean that that's what I began to model mine off of. And I keep that, and because it helps me when I do it, because I believe in creating a minimal viable product. That's why I was skeptical about DBA. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I was skeptical about DBA when I first heard about it. I typed it. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. I was skeptical because they were talking about, and not just DBA, other MIR. They kept talking about, why create a done for you? Why create a course when you can do a done for you? And I was like, What? Because it's not hard for me to create a course. Because I learned how to do it from white men. It's not hard for me to create a course. Are you ready? Because I'm about to blow your mind. Double tap that screen. I am about to blow your entire mind. I am about to shatter everything you think you know about digital marketing when I tell you what I'm about to tell you. And yes, I still believe clearly in MRR, PLR, and done for you products. And I could tell you another thing about that too. I might be able to get to that on this slide. Okay, double tap that screen, because what I'm about to tell you is going to, nobody is talking about this. I know nobody is talking about this, okay? That is this. I sell the course before I even can create the course. I sell the course before I create it. Go ahead, ask me what I mean by that in the comments. I sell the course before I create it. I would never create a course and then try to sell it. I've done that, and it is a headache. It is painful. I would never again in my life do it. I never even did it successfully. Yeah, it's up there in the chat. I will pin it. I just pinned it. Oh, I can't. It won't let me PI in it. And I know they don't even like for you to say that. But it is up there. Just keep scrolling up. It's right before where you say, wait, LL, my pen tripping. It's there, okay? I sell the course before I create it, right? That's what they do. They're not going to sell a course and they don't know that they have a viable product, right? So I solve my own problem and then I monetize it, okay? So here's my process for that. I get a Google Doc and I create my outline. And then I break that outline up into what I think are manageable segments, because I like each segment to be no more, because I'm going to go live. I'm going to let the head out of the bag. I'm going to record it live each week in an FB group, right? In a private FB group that you can only get in. Now would do it through school, right? But only the people who have paid for it can get in the group, right? So you got to either be invited or knock and get in the group, and people will knock. And that's when I give them the link and they can either buy it or they can get lost, okay? So I first create my outline, and this is the only place where I would use ChatGPT to help me with my outline. And so I create that outline, and then I break it up and I figure out how many weeks the course is going to be of me recording it live. And then I will figure out what bonuses I'm going to add to make people feel like it is an irresistible offer that they absolutely cannot say no to, okay? And then I create another Google Doc, and that is where I write my sales letter, like you see that I tagged here in this chat. And and before that I set my pricing, and I create my Stripe link, my payment link, and I add it to that sales letter, and I publish that Google Doc to the web. So it cannot be modified. They cannot change it. And I begin to create content, usually some sort of live streaming to my existing audience that I know should and would buy this product. And I create live. I created my very first course, which was, I don't even remember what it was titled, but I think it was like a sales and internet marketing mastermind. It is now, pieces of it is now my avatar course, which I really don't sell anymore. I added as a bonus to other things, or pieces of it as a bonus. I sold that way. I sold Influence Booster, which I made multiple six figures with in 2018. But that one killed me because I ran it as a 30-day challenge. I sold Pen Profits Mastery that way, my Cash Flowing Business Growing Mastermind that way. They all ran through this same process. Now, some of the earlier ones, I didn't use a Google Doc. Back then, I was paying for lead pages, like $30-some a month. And then, I'm like, these people are making all this money and they are not paying for things like lead pages, so why should I? Taplink, that's why the only reason I don't use Stan Store is because Taplink came to me to be an ambassador back in like 2017 or 2018. And so they gave me lifetime access to their platform for free. So that's what I use. okay? But you will only get those opportunities by creating the content. And what is holding you back from creating the content is thinking that you have to go through every module, every nook and cranny, and be an expert. You do not become an expert by going through the modules. You become an expert by investing, learning, teaching. Investing, learning, applying, and then teaching, right? Everybody says ILT. It's really invest, learn, apply, then teach, right? That's where the real value is. The real value is not in just investing, learning, and teaching. The real value is in sharing what you learned, your takeaway, your view, your experience, and teaching from that standpoint. And that's where you begin to create your own unique branded system or framework. Okay? Oh my God, this part of this is gonna be a masterclass. I'm definitely downloading this and I'm going to edit it and edit out all the family drama stuff and keep this. But yeah, it is about, you can literally start at zero, y'all. You can start at zero. You can start at zero. And how you get there is by leveraging other people's money. You leverage other people's money. Okay? You leverage other people's money. But it's not like you're going out and stealing, because you're providing value. You're providing education. You're helping answer questions. You're being of service. You're helping them on behalf of the brand, and that's why the brand is giving you credits or months free. You know, or paying you an affiliate commission. Just know if it's an affiliate commission. Yeah, I download my lives from TT and upload them to YT all the time. Oh, so we can record our lives. It records it automatically for you. You'll go to Live Center and you'll see your recordings there. But they're only there for 30 days. So that's why I like to download them. I also like to edit, right? So if I split this up, I'm going to edit that right in TT Studio and split it up right in there. Yeah, and you can access it from desktop too, which is nice because you don't have to download a huge file and then create all these other files. You can just edit it from right there. Oh my God. This is why people need to be mentoring with me, because I have a whole syndication strategy too. So I not only will upload them to YT, a lot of times I upload them there privately. Nobody knows they're there because I'm just holding them there, because I'm going to edit them and get them down into smaller chunks and add them to my syndication funnel, where I am restreaming old and existing content that is selling for me. I have restreamed videos from 2018 that made me money in 2024, selling things that weren't even thought about in 2019. Okay? Yes, you make sense. A lot of sense. Okay, they must have blocked it. Yeah, I would have to send it to you in Messenger, and they probably would block it then. But it's my first name, last name, .com/PPM. It's Tamira, T-A-M as in Mary, I-R-A, last name like money, Hamilton like money. Okay? So TamiraHamilton.com/PPM. And you will see it. You will see it. Let me see. I can probably even show you on my iPad here. Let's go here. I'm going to pull it up and show you here. T-A-M as in Mary, I-R-A, H-A-M as in Mary, I-L-T-O-N.com /P as in Paul, P as in Paul, M as in Mary. Because you can't get to it without going and downloading. So you can see it's a doc published to the web. That's all it is. This is a Google Doc. It even says right here, published in Google Docs. and you scroll down, it's telling you all about the course, what to expect. And then that is an image that I got from somewhere for a sign up button. And when you click it, it takes you to the payment page. So now it's opening, it's telling you it's redirecting, and you can see that it's going to a Stripe link. So we click that Stripe link. And that is how you pay. Now, do I recommend that you do that? No, I actually recommend you go the route of going through Stan Store. I do. And here's why. Because the clock is ticking. And that is where you are going to make it or not so break it, right? And that is where you go and you do everything you can to get those 5 to make your Stan Store free at $99. That's really the lesson. That's the test. That's the test. There's no testimony without a test. So you need to run to get those 5, but go for more than 5, go for 10, so you can get 5 that are going to pay the $99 and you get a 20, and it's every month. It's every month. Every month that they pay, you get $20. Every month that they pay, you get $20. And if you're selling a bunch of DBA of people who can't afford it, then you need to be targeting different people. You need to look at your niche. What about Linktree? I don't know about Linktree. I've never used Linktree, not really been a fan of it, even though TapLink kind of looks like it. TapLink, like I said, you can set digital products right up in TapLink, so that's what I do. So Stan Store really seems to be working, and it's what everybody's using for a reason. Like I said, the only reason I don't use it is because I have TapLink, and I don't like using a bunch of different things. I don't like using a bunch of different things because things get lost, and then when I need to fix something, I don't know where to go to fix it. So I was already using TapLink, so I continued to use TapLink, right? And I didn't go straight to adding like Pen Profits Mastery straight to TapLink because I needed to make sure I had something worth adding and taking the time to add to TapLink. So I took my time and, created the Google Docs, and that's what I did. But the goal is to, like I said, use other people's money, make it free. Make it free by having other people use the product and OPM? Yeah, OPM, other people's money, yeah. Use other people's money to make it free, right? That's what it's all about, using other people's money. That's called leverage, right? And that's what we're taught. The American dream is to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And this is literally pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Right? You would be amazed at how much rich people don't pay for. And they're using other people's money. You would absolutely be amazed at what they don't pay for. Stuff that not only do we pay for, we're overcharged for. They get away with not paying for. Right? And I'm not saying take this to be evil with it or do bad things with it. You're not doing that. Okay. So if you need an affirmation, the affirmation is this: my work is of high service and worthy of massive compensation. My work is of high service and worthy of massive compensation. I do perfect work for perfect pay. I do perfect work for perfect pay. My work is of high service and worthy of massive compensation. I do perfect work for perfect pay. Okay, just repeat those over and over and over again and create the content from a service level. See, everybody wants to create join DBA, get DBA volume 1 before volume 2 launches and you can't get it for free anymore. Everybody wants to create that content, but now we need to go back to the drawing board and we need to be creating content that serves. We need to create content that serves, okay? And how do we do that? We answer questions. We provide reviews. We provide thoughts. We, we teach. We teach people how to use things. We teach people what to expect. We teach people the cheat code, right? So if you buy something and you find it frustrating, your content should be, I found this frustrating. Here's how I solved it, right? The things I wish I'd known before I bought X. Okay? I'm giving y'all the cheat code. I'm telling you, this is a masterclass right here. Every time I come on here, I end up giving a masterclass. That's why my YouTube is tired of me. I got so much I've uploaded to my YouTube in this year alone. Like with all the speaking that I've been doing, and then all these free masterclasses I've been coming on here and giving pretty much 7 days a week. It's insane, because this one is, I've been on here for over an hour. For 2 hours and 10 minutes I've been on here. Okay? For 2 hours and 10 minutes I've been on here. Okay? So, yeah. Right? We need to be serving. We need to be creating content that people are searching for, right? That is the service. What are the people searching for Stan Store? That's how Jakayla got to become an ambassador. She was creating content for Stan Store, about Stan Store, and they approached her. And so now it's free. Well, I have been here too. Thank you. Yes, be of service. Be of service, right? I could easily be like, oh, I'm going to get off of here. These people already have DBA. But I know that it always comes back to me. And I know that I still offer mentorship. I know that I still offer BPU, right? And I promise you, DBA and BPU go together real bad, like old girl says. They go together real bad. Because I can't say everybody or a lot of people are struggling to sell DBA, but I think a lot of people who bought DBA still need a structured course, and DBA is not that course. It's not. Okay, DBA is a community. It gives you the tools, it gives you the resources, it gives you the community around it. And so for that structured course on how to sell it, you need BPU. Okay, I know my story will help and my products will help. Yes, we do. Yes, and yes. So you have to go live and tell your story. One of the best ways to sell in 2024, a top paying skill, is storytelling. So what did I come on here and do? What did I come on here and do? I came on here and told a story. Right? I told the story of the drama-free family gathering, how to do it and I identified my target audience. I'm the oldest daughter, oldest grandchild, oldest niece. And I told a story from that perspective. And did you even see how I brought it back to DBA? Did you peep? I brought it back to DBA. And I'm transparent about this because it's not that I'm grifting anybody. This is in the fabric of our society, right? So imagine my story. God is preparing me. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Yeah, it's storytelling, right? And then you give the commercial. And you learn this when you join BPU. Matt teaches you this, right? Matt teaches this. You come on, you tell your story, you have conversation. Conversation is going to be your biggest money maker. And that's why I really truly don't believe in faceless accounts, because you got to learn how to have conversations. Conversation is going to have the money, whether it's one-on-one conversation in Messenger, whether it's conversation on live streaming like this, or conversation in the comments of your content. Conversation is the new lead. Community is the new brand. And you will get some of that from a faceless account, but I think faceless accounts are more for very skilled marketers. As a beginner, you need to learn how to have conversation. And hiding behind, and yes, I said hiding, because I'm an introvert. I am an introvert. When you look up an introvert, I am the poster child for being an introvert. Y'all think I'm not an introvert because I'm on live and I can be on live for hours at a time. First of all, I had to work up to being on live for hours at a time because honestly, at about 20 minutes, I was tapping out. But I built up the muscle over time. Okay, I built it up over time. Because on live, on webinars, you have to bring your energy up. You have to be more animated. Sometimes you have to know when to change your voice and how to bring it up and down. And it all comes with time. So don't not go live because I'm saying this. Okay. But it takes a lot out of me, and that's some of the conversation I've been having with my family. Like, you gotta understand, when I go live, I am wiped at the end of it. I am drained. Right? If I go live for 2 or 3 hours, I am exhausted at the end of it, right? But what I love about social media marketing, what I love about live streaming, other people's energies isn't impacting me. It's also like you get to be like Beyonce with Sasha Fierce. You can create like an alter ego. And that alter ego is really, when you look at a superhero, their alter ego is really who they are, but they have to walk through life playing this role that what everybody else expects them to be. But then the superhero is who they really are. Because you are you, and that is your superpower. So I am an introvert. I am as introverted as they come. And people don't believe it until they travel with me. Like, especially road trips. Right? Like, I live alone and I'm cool. And like my grandfather, him and my dad's mom, 2 of my favorite people in the world. But I could sit in the room with them, and just being in their presence was enough for me. We didn't have to talk. We both could be there, sit there, and be introverts. And I know that's not easy for a lot of people. Some people need attention. If you need to be stroked all the time, I am not the person for you. If you need a lot of words of affirmation, and I can edify people, but if you need that attention and that constant validation and edifying all day long, I am not the person for you. If you need somebody to sit up and talk to you all day long, I am not the person for you. I'm not. Just because I can sit on this live and doing it, I'm doing it with a purpose. So I am the most introverted person you will find. But I still am not hiding behind a faceless account. If you look up Chalene Johnson, she talks about it too. She's an introvert. Introverts do very well on social media. And then we fool a lot of people, and it's not our intention. People think because we show up on social media that we're extroverted, and we're not. Extroverts usually don't like showing up on social media. They prefer to feed off of the energy of other people. And they don't get that fix. They don't get that hype. They don't get that fix is the word, but there's another word for it. They don't get their dopamine hit from social media like they do in person. So that's why they don't really like to go live. They might create some content, but they really prefer to, wow you in person. You're an intellectual person. I pick up on it. I feel it. Yes, I'm an empath. Energy is important. Yes. They also say it's a trauma response, though. To go back to that. They do say that there's really no such thing as being an empath, that it's really a trauma response. I kind of buy into that a little bit. But if you're an intellectual person, listen, I am an avid reader. Like, there are books all around me. Like, if you look over there, right on my couch, you see that? A pile of books. You see papers and notebooks everywhere, okay? So I'm definitely an intellectual person. You can pick a book. I know a girl doing this right now. You can pick a book, and you can either come live and read a chapter of it every night. There's someone who blew up on YouTube doing this when the Omarosa book came out years ago, right? So you can pick a book and read a chapter live every night, or you can summarize a chapter in short form content every day. You could actually do both. I would read it live, and then I would either record or post the recorded summary, in a 1-minute summary, and you will build an audience that way. I know people who've done 30, 60, 90-day challenges of just reading, a book, or doing some sort of personal development and bringing it into an audience every day, and they built massive audiences that way. To me, that is much more effective than a faceless account. Hiccups. The other thing is there's faceless accounts, and then there's theme accounts. I would recommend a theme account before and over a faceless account. Faceless accounts are very hard to pull off. They are a lot more work than what people think they are, because you got to really keep that aesthetic trump tight. And so the aesthetic alone is a job. And so then you got to write your hooks, you got to write captions that convert, and all of that. And it is a lot. And what a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of those faceless accounts are not actually making money on the platform itself. They are moving people either to their email list, and they're making money that way, or moving them to something like a Facebook group or a Telegram chat, and that is what is closing them. Or to Messenger even, and closing in Messenger. Right? So, I'm not going to say a lot of digital marketers or their tactics are deceptive. I'm just going to say there's often more than what meets the eye. But somebody decided to start calling it faceless, and then it went viral and trending, and now that's what everybody wants. But it's, in all honesty, in a lot of cases, is a scapegoat. You're better off to do either a theme account, or do, like I said, what is something that you enjoy, right? Back in like 2014, 2015, 2016, my best friend and I would go live every week, and we would talk about our thoughts on the latest episode of Scandal. We would share our thoughts on what was happening on Scandal, and even related to workplace corporate struggles and things like that. There's so many different ways that you can create an audience that is niche and specific without doing the faceless account. Is really, really rough, and I'm just gonna say this. I would not do, me personally, you can do what you want to, I would not do a faceless account to hide my race and ethnicity. I wouldn't. Because I am enough. And I have a very diverse beauty customer base, and even digital marketing customer base, by being who I am. I would not hide who I am in real life, so why would I hide it online? And those people, because it's eventually going to come out, it always does. The owner of an account always somehow gets revealed. And those people that bought from you are no longer going to buy from you, and you have no idea what that is going to turn into. If I gotta lie to you, think about it. Like if you were dating someone and got a proposal and got married and found out they weren't who they say they are. Think about that. What would you do? What would your reaction be? If they hid a material piece of their identity and who they are and their story from you, and even if it wouldn't have mattered, would not the fact that they lied, or not even lied, but withheld that information from you, wouldn't that feel like a betrayal? Like you were robbed of the option of making a decision? Interesting, we said the same word at the same time. You would feel betrayed. And no, it's not quite that serious, but they're about to make me, they're either about to cut me off or make me verify, but the screen just went dark. So I'm just going to keep talking because the little puzzle piece didn't pop up. You just got to be who you are. Because fooling people about your race, those people are not your customers anyway. Because when they find out, I wouldn't do, I personally just would not recommend that. I would not recommend that. I would recommend a faceless account having various skin tones and ethnicities, but that usually is a telltale sign that it's somebody of color behind it. Because typically only people of color care about showing different skin tones and ethnicities. That usually, to the trained eye, I know that that's typically a person of color behind it. I am very comfortable with me, as you should be. We all should be. We absolutely all should be. That is just the wrong reason to do a faceless account, in my opinion. Same with the whole introverted thing. Unless you have really high marketing skill and you already have a lot of the content. Because I'm telling you, coming up with the faceless, even 6 or 7 second reel, even with the vault, you still got to figure out the hook. And then you got to write the cap. I mean, you got to be really good at writing captions with a faceless account. Who wants faceless? And I'm going to tell you something else. Because there have been mishaps with people with faceless accounts in comments. Like on live videos. If you're in a faceless account, please don't come to people's lives and start talking to people in the comments, because we think you're a troll. When we go to your account and there is no picture of your face on there, and all we see is faceless content, and it's typically only 5 to 7 pieces, because it is very difficult to put out a lot of content for a faceless account, because a lot more thought goes into it instead of you being the content. Oh, y'all got me going tonight. Instead of you being the content. So we think you're a troll, and we talk to you like we think you're a troll. I don't want to be faceless. Yeah, and I don't want you to feel like I'm preaching at you. You got to keep in mind, when I'm doing this video, I already know that I'm going to repurpose it and redistribute it and syndicate it. So it's not all just me, like just talking to you. So don't feel like I'm talking at you. Okay, please don't, because I'm not. But, you know, when we think about emails, that's how your email should feel, like you're only talking to that one person. And that's why things like segmentation, which I don't think are a part of the email marketing module that is in DBA, because remember, DBA is not a course, it is a community. So DBA is not there to necessarily teach you email marketing, it's there to give you templates to be able to use. I'm like, I'm okay, I can show my big head. Yeah, somebody gonna relate with your big old head. Somebody gonna relate to the fact that I'm 50 and I sweat a lot, right? Somebody's gonna relate to the fact that I'm 50 and I love my grandchildren like crazy. Somebody's gonna relate that I am the oldest child, oldest granddaughter, oldest niece, right? Somebody's gonna relate to that I got 2 grown daughters. Somebody's going to relate to, because I don't know if you ever stopped being a single mom, but I raised my kids as a single mom, right? Somebody's going to relate to, I turned 18 one Tuesday, had a baby the next, and still got a bachelor's degree and a double master's degree. And not later in life. Like I went straight from high school and did that. Somebody's going to relate to, I got 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. Somebody's going to connect with that. Even if they don't relate to it, they may connect with it because I'm providing value, because I'm providing inspiration, because I'm providing entertainment about it, right? Like I can tell my story in an entertaining way, right? You know, I honestly think I'm a pretty boring person. But people search for me online. People search for me on this app. Shoot, I was married temporarily and raised mine. Girl, I got a friend who's a single mama. She married, but she a single mama. Right? It's a red flag if you start talking about the future with your mate and he preferring to baby. Yeah, I'll babysit the kids sometimes. You don't babysit your own kids. A man taught me that. I never had picked up on that. But a man taught me that it's not babysitting when it's your kids. It's not babysitting if it's your kids, right? So that's a red flag. If you start talking about the future and this man referring to babysitting his own kids, run. You're going to be a single mama. I tried to tell them, yeah. Yeah, it goes back to what I was talking about with family dynamics today. All the boys can come in. They can even be waited on hand and foot, and you make their plates. But you think I'm cleaning the kitchen with you? No, I'm going home just like they did. I'm going home just like they did. My youngest cousin, he's my baby. He's like my son. He grew up knowing my grandfather was a provider, but he going 50-50. He a 50-50 guy. And he said that's what he taught his son, because you know, if it don't go the way you want it to go, you don't feel like you got used. What? So, but he also make his own play. I will give him that. Because if you think I'm going 50-50 and I'm doing all the cooking and I'm making your plate and bringing it to you at a table, no. Providers get that kind of treatment. That's for providers. Right? So, yeah. So what questions do y'all have about DBA, BPU, about marketing? Wig getting tight around my head. I'm going to have to go soon. Yeah. Can be talking about no 50-50 and think I'm doing all the cooking, the cleaning, and then the stuff in the bedroom too. You ain't getting no king treatment. You ain't getting no provider treatment. I will say that he's the one out of the boy cousins who made their plate today. The one who talked about 50-50. I'm surely going to tap in with you. Yeah, you know, I have mentorship. I do run specials on mentorship while I am live. I also, you know, do master classes and workshops and boot camps and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, but I do think I'm getting tired. I do think I'm going to get ready to go soon. But yeah, BPU. If you have DBA and you don't have BPU, you definitely want BPU. You want to learn how to sell digital products. You want that email marketing worksheet that's in there. You want to learn how to work threads. These are the ways that the people that are winning and making 4 or 5 figures with DBA are doing it. Okay. Like I said, I was fired. My money telling jokes. I have to make this work. You do. And that's why you can't think that you have to go through all the modules and learn everything in every module. No. You learn, you apply, and you teach. And the first thing, this is why BPU is crucial, because you need BPU to be able to get those first 5 people to pay for stand store at $99 so that your stand store will be free. That's why you need BPU. Absolutely. You need BPU so that you can sell DBA and they never even question it, the value of stand store and paying the $99 for stand store at the end of that 14-day trial, and you get $20 for each one to pay for your stand store, and now your stand store is free. And yes, you really technically only need a Google Doc and a Stripe payment link, but think about it. If everybody else has the setup and look of a stand store and you're out here promoting this link, that Google Doc is a temporary solution, right? That Google Doc is for the first handful, few, and they really should be people that you're selling in Messenger. And then once you get your 5 secured, you get your stand store set up and you're promoting that on social medias. Okay. That's how you do that. Okay. But I think I'm going to go now. Mentorship, go to my bio. You can even text me info, but be specific about what it is that you're looking for and you need help with. A BPU in my bio. DBA link in my bio. It is 11 o'clock. I am tired. I feel like I should and could, you know, press the midnight oil, but I at least got to take a break. I may come back. I may. Which usually means I'm not going to, because I'm going to fall asleep. Because I promise you, I'm a lot more introverted than people realize, and it takes a lot out of me. And I've been live for over 2 hours. 2 hours and 35 minutes. 2 hours and 35 minutes, okay? So DBA, BPU, I love waking up to money I made in my sleep. So know that you can get started with DBA and BPU, or either one, with Klarna or Afterpay on a 4-pay. So you can get BPU for $25. You can get full access to everything for $25. You can get full access to DBA for like $27.75 with 4-pay. Okay. Lives, yes, you gotta go live, but you also gotta create the content. You need a healthy amount of content, because even people, I do it myself. I will discover somebody on live stream and I will start listening to them, and while they are talking, I'm gonna double click their face up here, right up here, and then that little white box is gonna come up, and I'm gonna double tap through again, and I'm gonna check out how many followers they have, and I'm gonna start looking through their content, because while you're doing that, you can actually still hear the live until you open up a piece of content and you hear it, and then when you close it, it takes you back and you hear what is going on in the live. I greatly appreciate you and your time. I learned a lot and feel encouraged. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That's the other thing. Take pictures of stuff from your lives. Let me look cute, okay? As social proof, right? And you can use that in your content. You can even show it on a live. Like I could minimize that screenshot I just took, and I got positive feedback from you, and that is social proof. Okay. So yeah, I actually have on my list to come live and talk about how to sell digital products. I can't hear lives when I go in on your page. Yeah, it always works for me when I double tap and I go through, and I know it works for other people. But when I go to their page from up here, and when it pops up and I double tap their face or their name again and go through, as long as I don't open up a video as I'm viewing their profile, I can still hear them talking live. So yeah. So thank you for the rose, Ms. V. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. So I hope you found some value too. Okay, so before I go away, you guys tell me, what was something that you took away from whatever you heard here tonight? Double tap on I go in the store. Yeah, I don't think you will hear me when you go in the store. Okay. Tell me before I go, something that you walked away with. Okay. Tell me something that I don't want to say necessarily blew your mind, but that you are like, whoa, I got to act on that right now. I got to do that. Okay. So let me know that in the comments before I go. That helps me. That you have no idea how much that helps me. That really helps me, so I know what to talk about and what people really need to hear and what they want to hear and how they say it. So what is something you heard here today that you feel like, wow, that was a cheat code, that was something that now I know to do and is going to help me, or that you hadn't heard before? What's your takeaway? What are your takeaways from tonight? 1, your knowledge on marketing. 2, healing journey. 3, suggestions on elevating business. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah. Creating Google Docs. Yes, you can do that. Like I said, the reason you don't want to go and build real big with those is because you can, but just know you're going to want to have your terms and conditions linked to it, your privacy policy, your cancel or refund policy clearly stated. And that is why I like Stand Store or like TapLink, because you can do a checkbox, right? You can do a checkbox, like because of the downloadable nature of this product, there are absolutely no refunds. And so once they check that, it's very difficult, not impossible, but very difficult for them to go to the payment processor and demand a refund. It also makes the payment processors like Stripe a lot more comfortable with our business when more of us are doing that, when we're being transparent and we're fully disclosing, right? A push. What do you mean by a push, Ms. V? A push as far as what? A push. Like push out a baby? I'm just kidding, but what does that mean, a push? Whew, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. Read the comment above that. Creating Google Docs. Is that the push you're talking about? Yeah, I only see creating Google Docs above that. So yeah, that, thank you guys for that feedback. That helps a lot. I will be live again tomorrow. I'm just at this crossroads, right? Like, I can see, I don't know why my comment is not showing, but I will say it again. Thank you. Yeah, they might have filtered something out. It might be a word or something but they usually tell you, like, comments on this have been filtered out and so much more. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But just like you got from me, there are people out there who are going to get from you, but they can't get from you if you don't go live, and it's because you keep pouring over what's inside of DBA, right? You absolutely need to go through what's inside of DBA, but you do not need to go through every single nook and cranny. You need to talk about the things that are like really opening things up for you, or what is solving issues. Like, you can even honestly go live about things you learned here on this live tonight. And you can, not even just live, you can create content around those things. Yes, I'm showing up. Yeah. So, like, you can talk about things that you heard on this live. Believe me, Brooklyn, Matt, and all them, they all doing it. We all hear stuff from each other's lives, and we talk about it. Yeah. So yeah, that's still learning. It don't have to be paid learning. You invest in your time. You invested a lot of time being here, Ms. B. I came in on the end of the live, so I didn't hear much, but I saw your post about going live, and that's a push. Oh, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to go. I want to say I might come back live, but I already know I probably ain't. I can tell you that right now. I probably ain't. So, but I definitely will be live sometime tomorrow. Thanks again for the live. Thanks for the roast. Thanks for the feedback. Just thanks for even being here and having the conversation with me. It's a lot easier to go live for hours when you are actually having conversations. If you think of your lives as conversations instead of selling, the sales will happen. The sales will happen. And then every now and then you just remind people about what's on the link in your bio. Okay? All right, I'm going to go for real this time. Thanks. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.